Right.
Hello,
Adult audiences, you
hello,
have been warned.
everybody who's not here, but maybe. First time going live on Twitch. And... Oh,
Audio.
I'm getting feedback from somebody.
Yeah, hang on a second.
So, yes, I have. This is my first time on. I'm reluctant artsy, I guess, and these are people who I've been playing with for years, over a year now. So uh, we have Dido playing Imru, and you'll see him doing Dragonbane on my channel, but it's his GMing. You see Raldanash, who is Nashgar, and he has, of course, his own channel and is very well watched, and it's a privilege to have him, and that's Raldanash. So look him up on YouTube. And also Paul, who is a good friend and is Welsh, and is very proud of it. And so don't think that it's another British person. No. And so here we are, and we're going to continue on with where we left off. This is kind of the middle of Windheim. So if you're interested in Windheim, this is just kind of a little bit of a dose of what it's like midway through, a little toward the end, middle to end. And so if you are a GM, watch, have fun. If you think you're going to be playing this, just a warning that there are absolutely spoilers in this. So, without further ado, as they say, I'm going to recap very briefly what we did last time. So, I'm going to pop my prism up here so that I don't have to keep on looking like I'm stretching my head. I'm going to ignore Discord, and we're just going to start playing. Let's go to Vale's End, and I'm going to pop everybody over here. So everybody should now be on Vale's End.
Yep.
Essentially what happened was the party went to Vale's End. There was a murder through poison, and Reenie, or Reen, depending on how you want to pronounce it, was the the manager of the horses for the entire area of Silverspur. And here in Northspuuhr, this is where they did a lot of kind of managing and sending out of the best horses around Windheim itself. And he was in charge of this. He ended up getting murdered. There were a number of obvious suspects, but the leads went all over the place, and it turned out that there was some type of demons that had taken over the entire shape and mannerisms, but not all mannerisms, of the individual that they had killed. And
Two of them.
Two of them. One was along the journey all the way along. I won't mention the individual's name just in case somebody is still not aware that this is full of spoilers. And another person, they got caught. The party dispatched them quite readily, and we find ourselves now on the next day. Someone has a is it a sword from one of the individuals?
Yes, I think somebody picked that up.
Now, I'm not too sure if that was.
Well, mastercrafted warhammer.
I think it might have possibly been John.
I think it was Pesht, who is not available today, but is on a stealth mission, which is very good for a spy whose character he plays. So, here we find ourselves the next day, and some people have gathered to say goodbye. You have received a ring from Siniel, who is the widow of the gentleman who was killed. And so, I think that the character Imru was the closest to Siniel, and I'm not too sure if I gave this to you, Dido.
The gold ring? Yeah, I have it in my inventory.
Do you know what it does?
Until now, no.
Okay, so it helps you with all charisma scores, with everything
Okay.
charisma based. It essentially is it's a ring that helps you influence others. And so I'll get to the name once I pop this up.
How to win friends and influence people ring.
Exactly. So, let's get to my notes. All right. So, you have these items, and now you have to figure out where you want to go. If you want to go, you have heard from Siniel that there is some great evil in the north. She lost her son up north. The husband returned without him, devastated and almost unwilling to speak up about what exactly went on up north. You've also heard here in the village that there are rumors of lack of communication from the north, and also you have witnessed for the first time true demonic creatures. Something that you've never seen before, something that no one has seen before, and they vanished very quickly once you dispatched them.
Into smoke?
Into kind of ash smoke, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And so by the time people got out to see what had happened, they really weren't quite sure.
Okay. So have we had a long rest type
Yes,
thing? Or
everybody can take a long rest, absolutely.
Cool.
Good, good.
Checking.
So, I'm going to put up something on the screen so that you can all see it. And there it is. So,
so we're in Vale's End at the moment.
Yeah. So I'm
is it Silver Spur that we're Silver Main or Silver Spur that we're going towards?
You are heading toward the north, which, if I ping, is up here.
Yeah.
So there's Northern Spur, and this was the route. And further on is Hardin's Keep, but you are at the moment right here. So what you did is you started at Foamvale, you went over to Plainsville. That was a 3-day trip. You went up the pass, took you a number of days. By the time everything was over and you ended up here, it was about 21 days. So say 3 weeks.
Okay. So are we? Is the next trip we're going to go up river, or are we basically going across the plains to Silvermane and then across to Northern Spur?
And so that's going to be the question that you need to ask yourselves: is where do you go now?
So we're at Vale's End. All right, I can see that. So he just crossed the Vales Bridge. Well, it makes obvious there's a road that goes straight to Silvermane, and then we can go up to Northspuuhr and Hardren's Keep, possibly.
Mm.
Do you want to go up north? So Hard rolls out a map, and then starts pointing on the map a possible route.
Um,
I agree.
so, Paul, can you just give us a little insight into your character?
Hav very rarely speaks. He does speak occasionally, but very, very, very rarely. Generally speaking, he'll use, signs or sign languages, gestures. He is a man of the frontier, so he is a tracker and a bushcraft person, as well as a wielder of a large club, and does have some magical prowess, some sort of nature-based skills, basically. But he is a hugely strong halfling, hugely strong halfling, quite young. But wears very, very, very little or no armor, or no metal armor.
Just realized that the overlay is overlaid, so I don't know what happened there. But anyway, so your poor pictures look very sad, but I will figure that out at some point. So first time, come on, people. Anyway, so Frank, can you tell us about Nashgar?
Yes, he's a mule. He's a indigenous person who grew up on this continent, island, whatever you want to call it. I think it's an island. He's a shaman, really, and speaks to the ghosts. And shaman might sound like he might know lots of magic, but not yet. Anyway, shaman just means you can speak to ghosts. He is, a tribesman, if you like. So he travels the world, and I just see I have got an improvement to click on as well. He travels the world to find spirits and to find out more about the history of this place. Runs around in leather armor, basically. Doesn't use any. He could, but he doesn't really use any metal. So he's got a stone knife as his main weapon and a short bow. So not a very impressive fighter necessarily.
And he's a Merle, is he?
He's a mule, yeah.
So these are people from the eastern part of the island.
Yeah.
They're a very ancient people, yet don't really know where they came from. They don't have kind of a beginning story, but they're in the east, and they are particularly good. The hunters are particularly good at ferreting out the furners, which are large fur creatures that are quite aggressive, violent. Deaths happen because of hunting, but the taxation that Bastion has put on these people is so crippling that they're not able to even feed themselves because they have to hunt.
Yeah.
So your background would be one that has witnessed what's going on and
exploitation. Yeah,
the
absolutely.
exploitation. So why do you find yourself on this journey?
Because I want to find an alternative way and another way, and I want to see why the mule are being singled out for being treated so harshly by these Bastion Knights, sorry, not bastards, being so oppressive. And they just came over here on their ships and decided to take everything away and force us to change our ways of life. So I want to find out more about that and maybe find a way around it.
We're literally talking about a generation. It's been a generation of change. So about 30, 40 years. Imru, can you kind of give us an insight into your character?
Yes, Imru is a cat people. You don't see him much. They are very rare to come by. But he's not native to the island. He just travel there by boat. He's a bard, so he like to write and listen to new stories. Um, he want to write a book about adventures and so on. So yeah, he's wearing very fine garment. He's a little bit chunky, a chunket, as you say.
Dad bod. I heard that this week. Called it a friend bod. A friend bod. If you're kind of a little rotund, you're supposed to be more friendly, apparently.
Is that because you get friend zoned a lot?
Yes, probably. I'll tell the individual that.
Yes, he's very he's very charismatic, but he's not the brightest of his bunch. He's very charismatic, but yeah, he has this dull stares sometimes.
Okay, so we have a interesting crew. Pesht is a bastionite from the mainland. He has come over, and what everybody kind of realizes about him is he's become increasingly sympathetic toward the Merle, and there's something kind of sneaky and obtuse about him, and so that's just an interesting fact for you to know if you continue to watch after this, and for our party as well. So Silvermane.
Just quickly, because Frank also raised it up. Do we need to do our experience?
Why don't we do our experience points now? Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think we did them at the end of last session.
So
just the ability raises, or are you going to dish some out for us as well?
Yeah.
I've got the ones that I've already ticked, so I was going to roll those.
Yeah, roll those.
I only had one tick from last time.
I guess I didn't know the one we did when we switched to alchemy, I guess. So then last time, unfortunately.
Oh, nice.
Wow. So for those who are not familiar with Dragonbane, you gain experience by clicking off something, whether it's your experience or whether getting a 1 or a 20, which is a crit with a 1, a 20 is a failure. You generally want to roll low, but in the case of experience, you want to roll high. So a person with, say, a 16 in something is going to need to get a 17, 18, 19, or 20 to go up. And I see that Imru went up with his awareness. And
11.
Hoth is Hoth and not Had.
Hoth.
Because it is the Welsh double D.
There hath been.
Questions? Since you're all so experienced, did you participate in the last game session? Yes. Did you explore a new location?
I don't think so.
I'm going to say you did, just because it kind of combines everything together. Did you defeat one or more dangerous adversary? Absolutely. Did you overcome an obstacle without using force?
Don't think
don't
so.
know it. Don't know the detail anymore. That might have been an obstacle, but don't know.
I don't think so. If you can't remember it,
I don't think so. Because yes, you did. Because somebody went in and spoke to Pondosa, the daughter. Am I wrong that somebody spoke to her and explained to her about the death of her sister? Wasn't that Imru?
I think that was Imru.
Yeah. And so
he's a talking kind.
That was a potential conflict, and you dealt with it. So I'm going to say that's 4.
Okay.
So everybody has to think about your weakness. Did you give in to your weakness? So everybody at the moment has 4 improvements. Dido.
For weakness, I don't know from the last time, because I followed one of the fake sisters outside. I don't know if this will apply or not.
So
what's your weakness? Chasing women?
Curious.
Yeah, absolutely. Give yourself a point for that, and you can start rolling away after you choose whatever you believe is appropriate to raise up. Frank.
I was making some pessimistic sounds. I hope people didn't think that was just me saying, "Oh, it's not going to work anyway," and things like that. But I don't think it really impacted our play as such. It was just
it impacted
flavor.
the GM because I was wondering, is Frank in a bad mood? Like, why?
You remember then?
And yes, I do actually. And I thought, oh my gosh, he's giving me a real hard time.
No. That's just the character.
That was your character. Ah, okay. So, give yourself one for that, please. Put them down and then roll away. Paul.
I didn't talk.
And that's what.
That's my weakness.
That's your weakness.
I just don't talk. Well, it's pretty weak not being able to talk.
Did you talk though?
Oh, I think I did.
I don't think you did. But I thought that at some point in the past you had said something. So, but it is.
Oh, I do talk, but yeah, I do talk, but generally speaking, I don't.
Okay.
Yeah. So. Please roll away. Everybody roll what you need to roll. And just tell me when you're finished. And we won't go through the nitty-gritty of talking about ups and downs and stuff like that. I assume that everybody has decided that you were going toward Silvermane along the road and then toward Northspuuhr?
Yeah, the expedition of the guy that was killed with his son. Do we know this? Reen or Rini? Do we know? Was he going to Harden Keep or somewhere else?
He came from there, didn't he?
He came from Harden Keep.
Okay.
And so you gauge that his route either was through Silvermane or he might have gone straight up through paths. But not. You're not too sure what his route was.
Okay, fair enough.
But remember, this is somebody that would have been very, very familiar with every route to Silver Spur, which is the main city. Silvermane is kind of a little bit of an outpost. And then Northspuuhr is also renowned for being actually quite wealthy of a community. So just, so because of his interactions with everybody and his wheelings and dealings with the horse trade, he knew all the routes. So for him to go directly up to Northspuuhr wouldn't have made much sense to you.
So do we want to go to Silverspur or are we going up to Northspuuhr because that's where all the... Again, Paul talking, because that's where all the dodgy demons are.
Probably you want to go to Silverspur just to walk, just to get that direction or ride that direction.
Well, we're going to Silvermane, isn't it?
Silvermane, yeah. That's the first. You have to pass through there before you get to Silvermane.
So, any mileage on us taking some tradable horses with us, so we can sell them off?
You have been given 100 gold each.
And I've got a suit of plate mail to sell.
Oh, yes.
Trying to sell a helmet.
Anybody who wanted to do business with Torek.
I don't think she's going to be able to afford a suit of plate mail because they're like 600 gold, isn't it?
Torek?
We wanted to sell the heavy crossbow and the shield. I guess there was a shield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I got a mastercrafted heavy warhammer, which we need to sell. Which I most probably give to Imru.
So, a large shield
to sell.
Right? A large shield?
Large shield?
Large
for
shield
me?
is one of the things you're selling?
For me, no, a crossbow.
I haven't got a large shield. I've got a set of plate mail and and a master-crafted heavy warhammer.
He was very impressed with you on that first night, and he will give you a deal, and because he believes that it's worth it, and you've done the community a service by catching the thief, he is willing to give you the full 500 gold.
For the plate armor?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's...
he was very impressed when you spoke to him initially before Reen died.
Okay. That's 125 each then.
Oh, you're sharing, are you?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yep.
125 each.
Okay, so that's
125 each.
I'm to your 100.
Yeah, I'm going to put that on Pesk, if that's okay.
Absolutely. Dido, what were you selling?
I can't edit it, so I can't put it on. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, I was selling the heavy crossbow, the one that Nashkar was going to fire.
Do you want to try to barter?
Where's my partner?
He's kind of humming and hawing after giving up 500 gold. He's kind of...
Yeah, why not? Let me try.
If you could just put that money in your own, pocket, that would be great.
Does my fine garment give me a boon on? Okay.
Yep.
Also,
the fact that you're a cat is kind of and he's a little off of his game.
Oh.
Yeah. So, how much do you want for it?
Oh, okay.
Full price new is 200 gold.
I want to something to be divided by 4. We are 3 or 4. 210. Yeah. We are 4. So yeah.
You want, say, 240?
Yeah.
All right. So he agrees.
Oh, 68 then.
Yeah. Is he drunk or something?
He's feeling particularly generous, and he's walking around quite happy. He's just a jerk. I mean,
it's the guy he hates got killed, didn't he?
Yeah, because the guy he hates got killed. Yeah, exactly. And so, just for people's interest,
heavy warhammer. So a mastercrafted heavy warhammer normally goes for 200 gold.
There is the individual. Yeah, it normally goes for 200 gold. So he's talked him up to 240. Is there anything else that you need to say before the shopping episode?
I'll get rid of that. Just making sure I'm deleting stuff, that's all.
Yeah, perfect. Anything
I didn't loot anything as far as this character is concerned. So I'm good.
You're good. It was mostly metal anyway. So there is Lakor, but he's particularly chuffed, and you're not too sure if he's actually been granted. It's only the next day. Remember, it's only been 24 hours. But he believes very confidently that he will be taking over from Reen. So, are you heading up to Silvermane?
Yeah, sure.
All right, so...
Fate calls us.
You gather up all of the equipment that you need. I'm just going to say that you have it and that you've purchased it. So as we go along, you just say, I have this. You've got more than enough money. You're actually quite rich. So, Tillid, Tillid is here, and I will show the artwork for everybody. Can you all see that?
Not yet.
You have to press on the eye, show players. Yeah, now I can see it.
Yeah.
There's Tillid, and he's the drunken village cleric, and he's already into the sauce. But he does say that he will give you another 100 gold if you discover the killer of Reen's child.
Of the son.
of the sun, and he writes,
killed up north.
Yeah,
that's up north.
Yeah, and he writes out kind of a universal kind of letter that will give you money at any of the banks across the island. Very progressive that way.
Very trusting.
Very much so.
The picture really reminds me of the drummer in my band.
Kerok is his assistant and constantly trying to stop him from drinking, but realizes this is fruitless. Kerok sees the ring on the cat's finger, on Imru's finger, and says, you have Reen's ring. He used to call it the ring of fair speech when he came and gave his alms to Thrakon. He was a very devout person, a very good person. I think that's why Tillid is being so generous.
Oh, maybe. I should not toss it in the fire, right? To make sure.
And Carrot kind of looks at you and doesn't know if you're joking or not.
Okay, thank you. Take care of yourself and don't let you know who go to into you know what so much.
So Kerok introduces you to someone. And he says, I have somebody that I think is willing to help you. So we're now using artwork. We've moved from AI artwork to real, true artwork. And
real
this
people.
Is Torek. Torek is looks like a bastionite kind of guide, someone who can guide you through the areas. He's kind of older, seems like a good guy, is very interested in talking to you about this trip. He's in about his late 40s. He has some scars on his face, and he looks like he's experienced. He has a very low, hoarse voice, and has a lot of leathers and furs. He actually looks very comfortable to you, Rashgar. But he's not a Merle, but he dresses in that kind of way. It almost looks as if he's trying to capture that type of feeling of being a trusted guide. He has some daggers on him, and he offers his ability to help with hunting and fishing, and with getting through the bush, with persuasion, and he seems like that type of guy.
What's he charging?
What's he charging?
For his services.
So, when you ask him, what are you charging? Kara kind of waves his hand to say no, and it's like, so
what are we charging?
Like Hath has a great smile on his face. There's no charge. This is somebody who we will compensate on your behalf.
Hath. What is it? You might have to use more than gestures in this case.
Hath basically points to the map and says,
he knows the place.
Oh yeah, do you know the place? Okay, so
I've got a Pathfinder. I'm pretty good at finding places.
Yeah.
So what are we charging?
I can do this. Why do we need him? Yeah.
But he wears furs. I trust him more.
So do you ask him any questions? I mean, Half is there going absolutely just bonkers. It's like, I got all these skills.
I would ask the question, so what lies ahead? What do we need to prepare for? What dangers?
He's looking over at Half. He says, well, the dangers up north are much more intense. As we get further north, there are more animals and dangerous things. Your friend seems to be extremely tired. But I am willing to help you, absolutely. And I have the temple's good grace. And he looks over at the cat, and he's like, he doesn't even know what to do, but he keeps on looking. He's like looking between the two of them, trying to focus on Nashgar, and he's paying Nashgar particular respect.
Look, but don't touch, please. I don't like to be suddenly stroked.
But you're so soft.
Yeah.
Reaching out, thinking, I wonder if that fur would be really good on my back. Yeah. Do you ask him any questions? Does anybody pay attention to Hoth?
Yes, of course I'm paying attention to Hoth. I'm laughing at it the whole time.
So Hoth, do you continue or do you just? Oh, he looks.
No, I'm literally glowering at him. It's like, it's like, you're just getting like, just no.
Hoth, does he speak? What he speaks, does it reflect your experience?
He says, "Look, if there's a road, it would be foolish not to follow it, right? I mean, we have to go along the road. There's no point bushwhacking this.
Yeah,
it's the safest way." Oh, so okay, so
Had basically points at him and just goes,
"No." So now you have a decision. Do you want to take him along with you? Do you want to ask him any questions? You need to speak, obviously, to Hoth.
Yeah, maybe Hoth. We don't want him, of course. We trust you, but maybe he can learn from you and guide the other people not to get lost. Learn from your experience, share your experience with the others.
He points at himself and he points at him.
Yeah, you're Delhi. Yeah. Oh, you're giving us a tough choice here, mate. Of course, we will choose you. We can't let you go, Hoth. But he can learn from you. Be on the back. Maybe be your carrying mule. Okay, it's your choice in the end. If you don't want him, we will not argue with you. I trust you.
Okay, so what I'm getting is that Hoth has won this argument. And he looks.
I know. Well, certainly that's what Imre said.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Nashgar hasn't said anything as yet. But Nashgar seems to like he wants to take on the guy.
Nashgar, what do you want to do with him?
I'm just letting him speak.
Is he only going the place to lead us that way, or does he actually have his own business?
I mean, it seems very bizarre whether you.
It does.
Karok is just kind of indicating he is at your disposal, and
Hoth wants to dispose of him.
And Hoth wants to dispose of him. So Karok, because some cleric, Tillid has his bottle clearly in his mouth at the moment, is saying to you, are you going to take our friend along for your aid?
I guess he's more suitable with you here. Our friend Hoth has good experience. Hopefully, I'm looking at him. Hopefully, we will not get lost.
I'm not going to have you roll a persuasion. You're too good at persuasion. So you convince him, and and he kind of retreats back next to next to Karok, and kind of is looking at him as if to say, "You promised that I would get to go." And he's looking, as opposed to looking so confident, he looks a little forlorn, and so does Karok.
There was a deeper plan.
So you don't know why, but so you decide to go off on your own. Just tell me, are you going on foot, or are you going to get some horses?
Pony. Be a pony for me, because I'm a hobbit, halfling.
Yeah,
absolutely.
For me, maybe, but I'm not good at riding. But yeah, we will see.
Horses are the thing here, so come on, we can get some horses.
Yeah. So you'll get the appropriate sized horses for your body size, and they're fine breeds. They have given you access and have said that you've done so much for the community, and it seems like at the moment the one who's taking the lead with everything is Karok, the acolyte. Tillid keeps on nodding and stuff, but there doesn't seem to be anybody else who's really a leader. Cineal is kind of on her porch, just crying, and she waves and she bows her hands as the horses are brought forward, and
donkey. It'd have to be a donkey, really. That'd be a donkey for me, really.
Depending on how tall are you, actually.
About 3 foot.
No, in
I don't know. Yeah, maybe maybe 150 meter.
Cat and boot.
100.
Cats and boots.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not very tall.
You both have donkeys. Nashgar has a
and Peshk.
And Peshk.
A small sort of hillman's horse or something, or whatever they breed here, because this is horse breeding country, right?
That's something very, very good to say, because I will know more about horses when Effect Publishing comes out with their Tales of the Old West, and the many, many different horse options that are there. But at the moment,
they've recently added some as well.
And they've recently added some, yes.
3.
Did they?
I think it was 3.
I've been away for the past 3 days, so I don't know what's going on. And I can't find horses just off the top of my head here. Where is it?
Pinto.
Transport.
Horses are 60 gold. 60 gold, and the donkey is 12 gold.
Well, there you go. Well, it's given to you for free. There you go. You're off, and you set off for this wonderful place.
Towards Silvermane.
A little montage of us riding across the grasslands.
No image of grasslands at the moment.
Are we riding abreast?
Yes, that's right. And
the High Chaparral theme music starts.
So you make your way up to Silvermane. And
Silvermane.
So you it's a 3-day journey on horseback.
Yeah. I'm playing some tunes and singing to lift the spirits during our journey.
Absolutely. Nashgar or Pesht decides he has a faster horse, more of a thoroughbred, and so he's always sneaking around doing weird things, and you've kind of gotten used to this. And so he said he's going to go ahead to prepare the inn and stuff like that, and he just starts galloping and goes off. And so he may get there a half a day earlier, depending on where he rests and stuff like that. But it takes you 3 days to get there. And when you arrive, you see that the village is kind of like just a place to stop for the night. It's for people who travel between Vales and Silverspur. It bears the name of the Baroness, but Silfur. But it's a main as opposed to a spur, so it's a lesser community even in its name. And you come up to the inn, which is a natural thing that any adventurer does, and you meet a very pleasant woman named Nara. And Nara's in her early 20s. She has short-cut black hair. She's got a big smile on her face. And she essentially says to you, "Hey, do you need a night's rest?"
Probably.
Yeah.
Well,
Would be nice, as long as we're not taken in by some scoundrels who then tries to rob us, like in Pendragon.
Oh, that would be Pendragon. Oh, I've never heard of that. That must be a fairy tale of some sort.
No, it's a place long away.
No,
Oh, well, I don't know such things. And there seem to be two teenage halfling brothers. So Half may notice that there's the conversation between these two halfling brothers. One is Uri, and the other one is Lori. And Uri and Lori are kind of chatting between each other, and they're kind of, one of them's grabbing a donkey, and the other one's grabbing the other donkey, and they kind of greet you and just say, "We're taking them around to the back," and these are horse people. They know what they're doing, and you trust them. And they're pretty small. They're pretty small and agile for smaller versions of halflings. And she just says, "Look, I've got some rooms for you." She has a very greasy apron, and she's kind of like constant. She wants to shake your hand, but it's almost like COVID times, right? She's like, "My hand's got grime." No. Elbows.
The grime of the Frost Maiden.
Yeah, the grime of the Frost Maiden. Shown tomorrow on Raldnash's channel. So, she gives you a room for the night. The finances are inconsequential. We are not micromanaging. So, do you each of you want your own room? Do you want to share a room? She asks.
I'm used to tribal living, so I don't mind sharing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So, are you all in the same room?
Yeah.
All right.
They don't take up much room, these two.
I don't take up much room.
I would like everybody to give me a roll
on awareness.
And I would like you to give me a roll on
suspense.
Will.
So on the attribute, yeah?
Just attribute will roll, please, and see how many of you have passed.
Yep.
Just tell me if you...
I was almost at 20 there.
Just tell me if you've failed.
We all succeeded.
You
all succeeded.
All succeeded.
All right. We are huddled together, so yeah.
None of you wake up the other, but each of you has a terrible nightmare. Imru, who do you love the most?
Probably Imru had a long lost love that he didn't take so much responsibility. He was not very responsible, so he let his love life slip from his paws. So
was she also a cat person?
Yeah, cat. Yeah. Yeah.
You dream that she is ripped open, and
Oh my
that
goodness.
she has been skinned, and that her pelt is up for auction as a rug.
Oh my goodness.
Nashgar, who do you love the most? Or
Oh,
what do you love the most?
no, it's going to be who? It's going to be my little sister, who I left behind in the tribal village.
You see her mauled to death by a ferner. There's hunters in the background, family members, cousins, aunts, uncles, and they're helpless, and they cannot. Their arrows keep on missing, but she is completely and totally mauled and dies. Hoth, who do you love, or what do you love the most?
Cucumber sandwich.
You can talk.
It's the three people I travel with. Because basically the reason he doesn't speak is he's a little bit shell shocked about his past life, basically. So it's, do you know what I mean?
Can you tell us a little bit about his past life?
Basically his village was attacked. He was the only survivor, which is why he's a bit of a loner. And it was attacked by because he is the civilized people. I can't remember off the top of what they're called. The
Bastionite.
Not, yeah, and he was attacked. He's a Bastionite, and he was attacked by their little village was attacked by and wiped out. But it was bandits. It wasn't just the culture. It was it was bad people. And he realizes it was bad people, so he doesn't hate the other culture.
So none of you are aware of each other's dreams, but your dream shows one of those demons that you faced 4 nights ago, and you see everybody almost as a reimagining of the same event, and what happens is you do not win. Everybody is slaughtered, and you are the last. And as I recall, you were farther away from everyone else.
Yeah, I was casting Banish.
You were, yes. And so you see them close up, or you see them from afar getting massacred, and then you see the images turn to you and these mind-type demons looking at you, and all of you wake up almost at the same time, but none of you wake each other up. Like you don't, like you're screaming and yelling and stuff doesn't wake you up, and it doesn't affect you in any type of negative way.
I'll probably still say something like, "That was terrible."
Yeah, I should have not eaten this too.
I wonder whether the ghosts have an after effect on me.
Yeah, let's leave this.
Had basically looks at each of the Nashgar in room, just like like almost drinking them in to make sure they are actually still breathing and still alive, sort of thing.
We're going to montage this, but you discover that there is a situation in the village that requires your attention. There is a beast. There is a beast that's causing these nightmares, and you end up dispatching this creature. And so, for the sake of moving along, we will not be broadcasting. We'll only broadcast live up until the point where the Windheim adventure ends. and then we will go private because our intention and our purpose is to assist Andreas as he writes the next chapter
Can't wait for it.
of Windheim and of the name that totally friggin' escapes me at the moment, which is Horn of the Dawn Part 2. He will be writing that, and is writing it, and this is part of the Traces of Darkness series that's part of the Windheim environment. So, you have dispatched the beast, and you find yourself now moving up toward the north.
So we're going to Silverheim or Silver Spur or Northspuuhr, is it?
So what you find out from the innkeeper, and what's really kind of hilarious, is that it seems as if she won this in some type of card game. She won the inn in a card game. And when she's talking to you about all these crazy things and thanks you for killing this vile beast who remains nameless, but I know the name, she says that the last she heard from Reen was well over a month ago when he traveled up, and he did pass by, and he was on his way up to Northspuuhr, and that she hasn't heard much from Northspuuhr except for Hardren's Keep is not responding as they should be. She doesn't know much about it. She doesn't know the intricacies of how communication works between that kind of keep that separates the northern kind of barrier of the mountains and the mountain range, the dwarven range, from the peoples of the plains.
Oh.
So, do you want to go to Silverspur, or do you want to go to Northspuuhr?
As points at Northspuuhr on the map, but
we trust our guide. I trust our guide.
Well, I'm just saying, just me.
And he is the guide.
Yes.
And
but,
so,
I shrug and I point, but if
okay,
pointing at Silverspur and pointing at you.
Yeah. Imru, do you have?
I'm giving the pose up.
So you're
anything that draws us to Silverspur.
Yeah.
There is at the moment, the only reason why you would go would be to inquire about why
the sun.
Well, no, because it seems like the son went up to Northspuuhr with him.
Yeah.
Silverspur, the only reason why you would go to Silverspur is to ask the Baroness herself and have an audience with her.
Okay.
Why is Vale's End not had a baron or a lady appointed or a lord appointed? Because there's been, it's taken so long. You'd go there if you wanted to report the death of their, I guess, of the person in charge of policing and safety, which is Suda, who has died. So that would be the only reason to go there.
Let's go to Northspuuhr then.
Yeah, agreed.
All right, so you head off to Northspuuhr, and it's quite a trip. It takes a good number of days to travel along to get up north, and you're probably looking at maybe a week of travel. No incidents. Everything seems... Hath has you completely covered with making sure that you've eaten and everything has gone well. In the distance, you see this. And again, I am using the real art and not my fake art so that you can all see the beautiful job done. This is actually the brand new images from the PDF that are going to be soonly distributed to the backers, and it's been colorized and it looks quite nice. The description of the area is it's filled with towers and turrets. Marble and gold shine in the light of the setting sun. Your mouths are wide open whether you realize it or not. This is an absolutely beautiful place. And Pesht had left a message a week ago saying to you, I'm going further. I'm going to go up north. You decide what you want to do. I'm going up north, and I will try to arrange things for us, and I will meet you when I meet you. It is so beautiful. This entire place is just stunningly opulent. But, as you can see by the image, there's an entire section of the wall that's just been left.
Is it unfinished or is it destroyed?
It looks like it's been destroyed. It looks kind of unfinished. You don't.
I think
exactly
it's a ruse.
You don't exactly know.
I think it was destroyed, luring attackers into that gap so that then
if it was destroyed, there'd be more rubble, and there's not enough rubble.
Unless people use the rubble to build the other houses.
It just doesn't. It just doesn't. And you kind of see some soldiers.
There's scaffolding as well, isn't there? So if there's scaffolding, so that means that it's being built.
Ah, yes. Or it could have been scaffolding to shore it up so it doesn't fall down further.
But there doesn't. So it's the evening, but it's not late enough that people wouldn't be working. But there's no guards.
Curious and curiosa.
There's one next to the gate, so you see where the gate is.
Yeah, but there's also another way in, but you need to go through the gate.
You could go right through there if you wanted. But there is a gate over here, and you're approaching this way. So
Imro's asking the guard.
Okay, so you're going up here.
Yep.
Oh, I thought there was one.
Follow him as soon as Imru takes control, because obviously in a.
So where's the entrance?
And he kind of lazily kind of looks up at you and says, "This is the entrance."
And the other part? This one?
Wall.
Did you run out of stone for that wall?
I don't think the Lord is worried about that. He's got a lot of things on his mind.
Oh, who is the Lord?
Oh, our Lord. Oh, well, Lord Orlin. He's the Lord of Northspuuhr.
Lord Orlin.
Yeah. Aururin. Aururin. You will meet him soon.
Oh.
Like that?
Yeah. Perfect.
He's busy, is he? Has he got a lot on his plate?
Oh, yes. He's providing us with the most beautiful marble. You should go and see it.
What is the marble? Has he lost them?
And he kind of looks at you. No.
Did you say marble or marvel?
Marble.
Okay.
No, he's putting in a new dance. I don't know. I'm just the front guard, but you
It
woke me
dance.
from my slumber. But yeah, he's a great busy man.
Clearly.
Doing a great job here.
Yes,
Yeah,
great
do you
job.
want to go in here? And he opens up the door. He doesn't even ask you who you are. He just opens up the door. He says, "You should go. You should see him."
These
He
people are
looks up and
oddly
he says,
welcoming.
"Well, I don't know. Maybe he's going to be sleeping. I don't know."
Keep the good
Your
work.
town.
Thank you. What a weird fellow.
There's not a lot of hustle and bustle. Everybody people are in their homes. The chimneys are going. Everything seems to be fine. I mean, every building is beautiful. There's not a dump in sight. If anything is dumpy, it's the wall.
I just can't see why people always want to live in these tight buildings here. Walls all around you. That must be horrible.
Yeah. So, what should we do? Should we go to the Lord at this time of evening, or?
What time is it? Is it evening? Is it middle of the day?
It's about 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock. Well, if he's laying on a big dance, it might be interesting to see. There might be free drinks.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of which, I'll just pop to the fridge right back.
Yes, indeed.
Does the wall look old, or just has been newly built?
It looks like it's collapsed.
Okay.
I mean, the battlements have cracks and holes. It looks more neglected than anything.
So
that's got to be a lot of neglect, because battlements don't crumble down quickly. Look at Harlech Castle, for instance.
Yeah.
That's been there for over 1,000 years.
You're not sure. You have bushcraft, right? Or something that roll something appropriate to kind of figure out why is
it would be crafting. That would be.
Yeah,
that would be crafting. I would say.
Go for it.
Why this wall is not finished?
It's.
Oh, look at that!
Oh my goodness me!
Nice roll.
See, this is why we roll.
Battlement expert.
So the battlement expert realizes that the battlement has cracks and holes. The town is very close to the mountains, and so you would expect it to be very defended. And you know that there are stone kin out there. These are kin that can melt into stone. There's goblins who are almost hive-like. So you know of these dangers that are all around the island. Why isn't it being like what's happened? It doesn't just simply look like unmanned, neglected battlements.
It looks like it's been properly sabotaged.
No, it looks like it's been repurposed. It's as if they've got the stones, taken them away, and put them into basements. And
that's actually why most castles in the UK are in such a bad ruins, because most people basically just turned up, nicked the stones to build their own houses.
Yeah.
Robbed them.
And you imagine that the wall has kind of gone into disrepair because these homes on the outside all want to have the same type of basements that they do in the inner city. You know,
so fascinating about a basement.
Keeping up with the Joneses. So kind of like a basement in terms of a cellar, food cellar, places where you can store your goods for the winter. And so instead of going and trekking up to the mountains and gathering up their stones, they've essentially just taken it off of the walls. And nobody seems to be interested in rebuilding it. Like I'll
look at Imru and Nashgar, and I'll basically go. I'll point to a stone, and I'll like mime picking one up, and then I'll point at a house.
Ooh. Okay. Okay.
They must feel very secure here. Or maybe they decided that a wall is no good against Stonekin.
Can you just show me where you are at the moment?
I guess we're sort of like about here-ish.
Just
we came through
just
the gate.
by the just in the just inside, pointing at the stones
towards the temple. I think that's the temple, isn't it?
The temple is here.
Okay.
The now everybody is used to this with Thrakon. Everybody gives a tithe of whatever they can, and they throw it down the wells. Every city, whether it's Bastion or here, that has a temple, has one of these seemingly bottomless pits where money, goods, sometimes people get thrown down into this. So this is a standard layout. You have a temple, you have a bank, so you have a temple, you have a bank, you have an inn, and you have the
palace.
Town hall.
And this is the when you were in Plainsville, which we literally glossed over on the Discord, but when you were in Plainsville and you were traveling with a caravan, his home was very just as normal as, say, anyone in the town. Even in Vale's End, it was just kind of a little bit fancier, but nothing as amazing as this. This is beyond. And the fact that it is taller than the temple is quite telling as well.
Somebody's full of themselves.
So you are here, and I'm going to say that you can look straight down that alleyway and see that the fountain, which is ubiquitous with these towns, is crystal. It is crystal and flowing in beautiful ways. And there's somebody there, an older gentleman, who's lighting little lamps to float on kind of an outside area so that it's almost like lighting up in preparation for the darkness to light up the fountain.
Now I know where our tax money goes.
Hello there.
And he backs up, and he's like really afraid when you're speaking to him. He's reacting as if you're a monster.
Is he falling into the fountain as he goes backwards?
That's a good question. No, he did not.
No need to worry. I don't think you see lots of cat people then. I will let the humans talk.
You speak.
No, it's your imagination. You're drunk. I don't speak.
I don't drink. I am a worshipper of Dragon through and through, and I will not touch that stuff. Evil water.
Good thing.
Are you friend or foe?
Evil water in the fountain, is that what he's saying?
No, alcohol. He's saying
evil water. Okay.
Evil water. So he looks at you. Now, Imru, you're really dressed up, aren't you?
Yeah.
Unlike the other two, he actually keeps on looking at you because you look like you belong. Who looks as if he works for kind of the city as the light person, who lights the lamps and the oils and all that stuff, because he's got like long wicks and he's got kind of a basket. Elderly man. He looks at you. He says, "Are you here to see the Lord? Lord Northspuuhr?"
Yeah.
You
Actually, I have an appointment when I'm...
You're an exotic man.
Ooh, thank you.
And he looks at the other two of you and he says, "I see you're a Merle."
Ooh,
And he just
not cool,
really
man.
casts shade. He's not impressed. He looks at you as a Bastionite, and he nods, and he pays you kind of the deference that you would one of your own kin, but he certainly is not a friend of Nashgar's.
Ooh.
I shall echo that feeling. Just look at him in disdain. With disdain.
He doesn't seem to care what you believe. No, he doesn't care what you believe about him. He's just like, So he points and he says, "Well, you know that's clearly the palace." And he says to you, "I'm sure that you," and then he kind of scoffs and says, "and your friends can get a room at the inn if unless..."
Actually, one thing. Do you know that I'm pointing at Najgar, that he's was called by your lord for something? So I guess you offended a guest of your lord. So unfortunately I have to speak to the lord, and this discretion will be noticed and speaking to your lord, and I'm sure that punishment will be in due because you offended us, dear sir.
Okay. He just goes and he laughs and he turns and he picks up his lamps and puts his big kind of wick on the back, and he moves off to another area to light stuff, and he just says, "Enjoy the city."
Are these people high on something, or
So
High on themselves.
he's got a basket full of wicks. Did you say?
He's lighting. Yeah, he's.
So
lighting
I'm gonna and are they sort of like is a basket full?
Yeah,
I'm gonna use fetch.
He's just started. Like the
I'm
main
gonna
thing.
I'm gonna use fetch, and they're just gonna fall out of his basket, just to cause him a little bit of.
He stumbles and he doesn't fall. He doesn't fall. He rolled a 4.
I'm not. I don't want him to fall. I just want
all
the wicks to fall out, so he then has to pick them all up.
The wicks fall out, and so he realizes, and he tries to grab them, but he doesn't fall over. But he's and magic isn't something that these people see or experience every day.
I just walk off. Basically,
he does not understand at all what just took place.
That was a
punishment. This is a punishment from what's their
is that
god's
what you
name?
Say a Thrakon.
Yeah, this is a punishment from Thrakon. You deserve it, sir.
And now he's off. He's like moving away, and as he's kind of picking up the things, he looks up at you, and yeah, he looks scared. He looks like actually you might have cursed him. Okay, so where are you going? You are here now, and it is probably around 5:30, which is exactly the time it is here. So the sun is starting to go down.
Head into the inn.
Yeah, why not?
So you're going.
Yeah, sure.
So you want to go to the inn first. Okay, so you see on the name tag, it says the Grey Goose. and you go to the Grey Goose, and clearly, you can see that this is an image.
An upmarket.
This is a very upmarket inn. It has many images of stags and
Paintings.
and
No goose then.
it's just well, yeah. There, I mean, it's outside, but inside, it's just as lush as you can expect anywhere. I mean, this makes Foamsvale kind of look a bit like a dump. It's very fancy for what it is.
It's got a lot of expensive furniture in there for the time.
Yeah, it does. It absolutely does.
And the amount of paintings
spending a lot of money here, yes.
There's a lot of money being spent. Absolutely. You are greeted by the proprietor. And he has very wild blonde hair. He introduces himself and he says, "Hello, my name is Honar. And how can I help you? You are a remarkable creature."
Oh, are you talking to me or the
Yeah. Like, because
I
you're
know.
so fancy, just like in any establishment that's snobby, the person who's dressed for the area gets the attention. So you're getting the attention, and you're also a cat person that they've probably nobody's seen in this area ever.
Oh, stop it, you. Yeah.
He kind of looks and says, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend by any means. I'm sure that you're an honored guest of Lord Northspuuhr. Can I help you?" And he's looking at the three of you.
Yeah, I guess we can have something to eat and
certainly
was somewhere to sleep the night because we have a meeting with your lord tomorrow. We want to have an audience with him. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. There was a man who was here a few days ago. He's a very clean-cut looking gentleman. He's said to expect something feline. I thought he was speaking about a cat invasion, but I think he meant you. He left a note.
Oh, thank you. This is our friend.
If I may, I'll go and read it to you. And he gets it, and he kind of shows it to you, but his writing is kind of like a doctor's. I mean, it's very hard to transcribe it. He looks at you and he says, "To my companions, I see that you have made it this far. I have gone on ahead and have paid for the room for the night, and I have left our calling card with and then he's looking as if to see what that Chancellor. That's right. He's spoken to Chancellor Garrick, and I can't read this, but anyway, he's spoken to Chancellor Garrick, and then he goes back to reading, and he says, "The Chancellor has arranged for you to meet with Lord Northspuuhr," and then he kind of, his eyebrows go up and says, "Whenever it pleases you."
Yes, I think tomorrow morning should do. What do you reckon?
Yeah, no problem.
He runs off and grabs you whatever food you require, and there's a number of people who are very finely dressed. There's a number of people eating at the establishment, and it looks as if it's horse traders who have done very well for themselves. these are not kind of the people. This is a much more upper class clientele. Not a lot of. Uh, it looks as if this is more like the business center of the Silver Spur region. This is
Okay.
this is kind of like where people go to be seen.
To play golf. Okay.
Yeah, and to play golf. Yeah, exactly. Through the open wall. Through the open. Yeah.
Okay. Hmm. I never seen so fancy people that come in the same place.
I wonder what Pesht has told them.
It seems that he speak very highly of us, and I don't know.
It must have been convincing.
Is somebody looking at us suspiciously, or not like curiosity looking at us, but is like examining us, or
This person?
yeah.
A gentleman stands up
Ooh.
from his table. He's alone, and he comes striding across. He has a very thick accent, and clearly he's a Bastionite, and he's from Bastion. And he looks at the three of you, and particularly Imru, and he says, "My fine fellows, my name is Helkar Orossi, and it is my pleasure to meet you." And he bows with a great flourish, and his hand goes up, and he bows down, and he looks at you, Imru, and he says, "You are a cat person," and he says, "Are you from this area?" And it is the area where you're from.
Ooh.
Uh,
Quite knowledgeable. How do you know that?
I I have spent many years along the border of Wolfhang, and the Wolfkin of the Wood are people who I have assisted and helped on the mainland, um, and um, and so uh, I have the intelligence where my brothers have the strength, and so I have come to make my fortune here. But you know how things are. But it's wonderful to see the diversity here amongst, well, people who seem civilized, but you know. And he says, "It's wonderful to meet you all." And he shakes your hand, or he puts out his hand, Nashgar, and he wants to shake your hand. He seems very sincere.
Well, then I'm going to shake his hand, slightly bemused.
Yeah, he says, "You are a Merle here in this parts. And if I notice correctly, are you a shaman or a seeker?"
Yes.
"Ah, but these parts need your assistance. Um, there have been rumors of some terrible things happening up north. We got a message saying in the when the post riders came that Reen had died. When Reen passed through, he was a shattered man.
Was he with his son?
Well, initially when he went north, he came back a number of weeks later, just a broken man. I tried to speak to him, but he would not talk. He didn't want to discuss business. He didn't want to discuss anything. He just seemed empty and disconsolate. I couldn't. Our friendship has been for as long as I've been in the area. Alas, I've heard of his demise, and I knew that his son had died. This must be very difficult on Sinio.
Now, just quickly, he died when we were in the village.
Yeah. And that
How quick?
Oh, yeah, that would have been...
We've come here straight away.
Oh, yeah.
We left the next morning, so in theory...
They have, like, just like Pest is about a day, maybe a day and a half ahead of you. The Post, literally, like, if there's...
Oh, so they have like a Pony Express type thing?
They do, indeed.
Okay,
so it's
that makes sense.
It's not one horse.
No, I realise. Yeah, it's good. Yeah,
horses all the time.
No, understand.
And it's throughout the night as well. So these riders are exceedingly important in the entire world. This is the equivalent of telegraph.
Yeah, well, it's the old Pony Express. No, it was only for
quickly. And you are
Pony Express. It was only for a small period of time, actually, in the West, wasn't it? So
yeah. So, do you have any questions of this gentleman?
He seems a bit shady to me. I'm just not sure whether I can trust him.
Now, are you saying this to eat? Like, he's there.
I'm not saying it to him. I'm saying that to you as a GM.
Oh, well, that's fine.
And I'm just wondering, do I get the impression that he's being genuine?
Well, make that roll. You know the roll. It's awareness.
It's awareness. Yeah, I was looking for insight. That's the wrong game.
Yeah. There's a special...
It's a talent. It's a talent.
Nah,
you're not really...
I don't trust this guy, so I want to see if my view is correct.
And Nashgar, remember, it is the evening. You may...
Yeah, I'm just wondering what I would take to make it...
So before I answer the question of Hoth...
There we go.
That's fine.
So
even worse.
Nashgar's angry. Nashgar, how does this manifest itself?
Because I feel like I shouldn't be trusting this guy, but at the same time he seems to be so nice, and I can't square that away in my head. So I'm sort of getting a little bit angry, saying something like, I don't know, saying to him, you're talking about his death as if it was something nice and expected. And I'm still feeling raw about the death. So we tried to save him, you know?
Yes, indeed. So, he sees that you're agitated, and he looks like a playboy. Like, he looks like that type of person. And what sense you get, Hoth, from him is he's the type of person who is living in his head. Everything is up here.
He's looking for an angle.
You're not entirely sure that he's looking for an angle, but he's definitely an intellect. And he kind of has the appearance that he wants to be a soldier or wants to be seen as something more, but
he's a cosplayer.
he's LARPing.
What a LARP.
He says, at some point, he will say, of course I can fight. I just don't choose to. but you know that it's falsehood because he's as weak as anything, and you see something that the other two, and unless
Mm.
Imru, are you looking for something in this man?
No, probably because he flattered Imru a little
Oh
bit.
yeah.
So yeah,
Oh, absolutely. Oh,
Imru's complete.
he's stroking your ego. I love this because it's good that you're not rolling. He's stroking your ego. It makes absolute sense. Hath, you see him looking over and checking over at least 4 or 5 women,
Okay.
and they're all with their husbands, or
Okay.
partners, or uh, or
I'm not bothered about that.
or whatever. And so he's
it's
looking
fine.
around, and you can see that he gives a wink to one of them, almost imperceptible to Nashgar, because Nashgar is just so frustrated that he's
Agitated.
like looking for this angle. But he does seem to be well versed in history, and he seems to be some type of imperial
Bastard.
administrative type, and that seems to be what type of job he's settled into. Do you push him a little more to ask him for more information?
Yeah, what was Rain? Do you know what was Rain doing in the north? What he was doing in Frostvale, or sorry, the keep.
Not Rain.
Yeah, Rain's intention to go up north. He was kind of secretive about it, but it didn't have to do with horses. There was something that drew him up north. I'm not sure if it was. I'm not sure if it had anything to do with the comet that we recently saw here in the region. But
Comet?
Oh, yes, there was a comet that passed by about a month ago. Maybe more now, actually, if I think about it. It would have been before he arrived. But he was interested in wealth and power, and he didn't get into any details, but his trip up north was more than just about horses.
Okay. I guess a man of you were a friend of Rain. Didn't he tell you anything before he leave when his spirit was a little bit up before he lose his?
He was joking. He was joking with his son about the trek to go to Haldren's Keep, and they were joking about where they were going to sleep in this essentially just a castle, as it were. Not much other than a keep and walls. We don't even care about our walls here, as you can see. There's no danger for us. But up there, they have much more to worry about. But that reminds me, we haven't heard from them for a week now.
Yeah, this is after Rain went there, right?
Well, it's yeah.
Don't you find
his mind kind of goes off, and he's starting to think to himself about what would have gone on. You know, he's kind of trying to connect all the dots.
As a man of your intelligence, maybe you will figure something, because we really want to have.
I've been thinking about it, but I haven't paid as much attention. I mean, we just found out that Reen died, and I guess that bastard is going to take over from him. But
yeah. Did the note said how he died?
Yes, it said he was poisoned.
Yeah.
It didn't say if it was discovered, like who poisoned him.
Well, we're trying to figure it out.
We just figured that it was Lakor. Lakor's hated him.
Yeah, he's a
Didn't
he's
even
a
have
bust.
proof, though, did we? Did we?
So,
No.
well, you.
I don't think we worked out who did poison him, did we?
Oh yeah, you
We had a
did.
suspicion.
Did he?
Yeah. So it was the daughter.
Oh, yes.
She was the demon as a demon. She put that in the soup.
Yeah.
And
So yes, that was it. It was
remember
she poisoned the soup.
flowers. And remember the
He was
flowers.
collecting, yeah.
Yeah. So, and then, so you found her body, and then of course,
Yeah.
her boyfriend, and then
Nashgar found the body.
Yeah, and it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So,
yeah. So when he says, "Oh, I guess it was that arsehole that poisoned him,"
Yeah.
I'll shake my head.
Oh, to say no.
Mm.
Yeah,
He
he
says says that's so strange. Reen didn't have many other enemies other than Lakor. It wasn't Lakor. Was he? Was he killed? Was he killed by a beast? And he looks over at you.
No, not me.
Cat.
Oh, not me. I'm not a beast. I'm looking. If I see is anybody is listening. It's
the men are too busy looking
demons.
at their wives, or the partners looking at their partners to ensure that he hasn't caught a glimpse of their eyes. Everybody's he's quite an attractive man.
He was killed by some changeling demons. You know, they took.
And he goes like this, and he stops you immediately, and he gets you, and he takes you by the paw, and he brings you outside.
Doesn't like being touched.
He brings
Don't touch
you. No,
If he starts grabbing,
outside, and he's not stroking you, but
if he's getting handsy, you might actually have to put up.
As soon as he touches, basically Imru, I'd be like, obviously I was a bit shocked, so I'm immediately following.
Yeah, Nashka.
I immediately follow as well.
Okay,
picking up my club.
He brings you outside, and he brings you outside the front, and there isn't a lot happening. Now it's more twilight, and the crystal is just, I mean, it's between the water, the flowing, the lights that are amber with red around the bottom and the top. It's just beautiful brocade, and it's just everything is sparkling and beautiful. And you're out there, and he looks at you and says, "Did you speak of demons?"
Yes, they were two, but
two. And he looks at Hyde. Two.
They were
you
two.
Dealt with them.
Yeah. They just disintegrated. We don't know, but Hath is very good at banishing demons. So yeah, I guess one of them just
easy.
Went home.
He says, "Now
I'll pull out the symbol for the. So I will have a symbol of the god. I'll just pull out the symbol of the god and just tap it. Okay. And I put it back in my pocket.
All right. So give me one.
Faith will protect you.
Give me 1 second, Mr. Halfling.
Almost hearing Halfling now.
All right. So, your god is, and I'd like to get this straight, but I don't have my note PDF up.
And halflings just Bastionites as well.
They are.
I'm Bastionite.
Indeed,
I'm a
they are
Bastionite.
Bastionites.
Yeah. I'm a Bastionite. It's Bastion, isn't it? And I can never remember what the god.
Your god is either I think it's Nelly and not Sirai, but I will get back to you on that. For those who are Windheim experts, it is either Nelly or Sirai, I am sure, that is the one who is favored. But Thrakon.
It'll be Thrakon, most probably.
Thrakon? Okay, so
It'll be
Thrakon is you show the Thrakon symbol, and he nods in acknowledgement and recognizes this. He also kind of under his breath says, "You're going to find the farther north you get, Barakon is truly worshipped." As an aside, one of the things that you all know, just as part and parcel of the very nature of being in this world, is that from the youngest moment of your birth and the education that you receive, is that the world protects the gods have protected you from not only themselves and their internal conflicts. They are in the middle in their own kind of contained home. And then the world is a great vast circle, inverted. And the sun and the stars and the moons and their courses are all inside as opposed to outside.
Hollow world, yeah.
And yes, indeed. And one of the things you know is that the more you worship a god, the more the collective worships the god, the more power the god has. So Thrakon was a human being, a follower of Barakon. And Thrakon has become so popular and so renowned that he has become himself a god because of the vastness of those who worship him. Both Barakon and Thrakon being a disciple of Barakon, both are very closely aligned with the sun, the light, the positive, the exposing of the darkness and evil. One of the things that you hear from Helkar is you all know that the demons and the dragons have not been seen because the ancient tomes tell us that they were cast out in the outer world, beyond. If you have seen demons and they vanished and you were able to banish them, then that means that there are cracks. That cracks have formed in that protective layer that the gods have given us. And then that means that dragons and demons will come in.
I just point at the wall. If people neglect their defenses, that will happen. If they neglect their faith, that might happen.
This changes everything. But you can't speak openly about demons. People will think you are witches, or think that you need to be arrested for a conspiracy. Don't be so frivolent in speaking about this, because people are ignorant of the truth. But
and what did you want our help with? It sounded a bit like a demon as well.
I don't understand.
You said you needed some help up north.
Well, I personally don't, but I know that there hasn't been any contact with with Haldron Keep, and so I'm just assuming that something must have happened up there. Reen looked like he had seen a ghost. I never would have thought that it would have been demons.
Maybe it was.
How did these demons manifest themselves to you?
We discovered them. We caught on the ruse, and we knew.
May I ask what type of ruse? Well, I mean, the only memory that I have of reading about demons is their grotesque nature.
They were taking shape of normal humans or any creature they wish upon. They just take the skin and, wear it.
And he looks around and he sees that nobody is around. There's a couple off in the distance kind of admiring the crystal fountain, but there's nobody else around. And he says to you, "Is that how Reen was poisoned?"
Yes.
So they take the shape of people.
You're getting me a little paranoid here, friend.
Now, Hoth, there's a pendant on him, and it is a half moon pendant. And you know that this is a sign of this is a symbol closely related to one of the lesser known gods that has an affinity more with the Wolfkin and not with typical Bastionites. So he seems to be kind of a man of the world, as it were. He says it's a sigil of my order. Don't pay too much attention to it. It's inconsequential. I don't even think about it. I see that we have approached 10 o'clock UK time.
We have.
And we are missing somebody who has who's under the weather, but has also found out some things that will help us the next time we meet. Are we good for next week?
Let me just check my diary.
I had us scheduled, but I'm not too sure because things have been up in the air a lot with all of us.
Yeah, most surely. I should be okay.
Next week, that's 25th, I should be all right.
Okay.
Yep.
So
it's my dad's birthday, so I might have to call him, but other than that, we're fine.
Okay. I thank you all for your patience as I learn this fancy system of zooming and foundry forging and all the
prisming,
zoom, everything. Prism, not OBS. I'm using Prism instead. So if you watch in the future, that's wonderful. This has been a great test for me. Thank you all for watching. We're just gonna stop and end. Remember what we've done this session, because next session we will go through our experience points, but really there's not a lot that we've done this session. And so
we killed the beast in
yes,
in that village.
In the montage.
You killed the beast, indeed you did, and it was wonderful and glorious, and all of you came out unscathed. It was quite nice. And so, have a wonderful night, everyone. Thank you very much
thank
for
you.
watching, and we will see you possibly
Next time.
Bang.
And so.